Menstruation is indication that a girl is matured and has reached reproductive age and needs to practice proper menstrual hygiene during that period. Menstrual hygiene is vital to the empowerment and well-being of women and girls across the world. It is more than just having access to appropriate sanitary pads and clean toilets. Menstrual hygiene is also about ensuring women and girls live in an environment that supports and values their ability to manage menstruation with dignity. The International Menstrual Hygiene Day is celebrated on the 28th of May every year. And this edition, the 2022 edition, a non-governmental organization, the Hope Center Cameroon, donates sanitary kits to some vulnerable women, specifically women living with disability. Menstrual hygiene management and health is considered still a taboo topic for many girls, especially girls and women living with impairment. At times, they are seen as asexual and are rarely given information about their sexual and reproductive rights and how to manage their periods independently. In order to change the narratives, a non-governmental organization, the Hope Center Cameroon, decides to celebrate the International Menstrual Hygiene Day on May 28th with these vulnerable women and girls.
We decided to choose women with disabilities because during our work in the field, we realized that women with disabilities, with the coming of the coronavirus and with the crisis, most women living with disabilities, most of them don't have income to be able to purchase sanitary pads. Most of them don't have access. So it becomes difficult for them to provide for themselves. That is the reason why we had to choose these women.
The more than 50 women and girls living with different forms of disability followed with keen attention lessons on menstrual hygiene, the myth surrounding menstruation, and how they can practice proper hygiene during their monthly flow to stay safe from any infection.
Menstrual hygiene management involves 4 things. The first thing is women and girls being able to have clean material. The second thing is having a space where they can change with privacy. The third thing is them having water to wash themselves or to wash their hands after use. And the last thing is women having the access or the possibility of disposing of the menstrual materials that they have used.
These group of persons face double stigma due to both social norms around gender and menstruation and having an impairment. During the celebration of the International Menstrual Hygiene Day, that doubles as the 5th anniversary of the organization, the women and girls living with disability shared their experiences when they had their first flow of menses.
I started seeing my menses when I was still living with my auntie, 13. And I didn't tell her because I was afraid. Then sometimes I put towel and I told her and she was angry.
That way I began menstruating my junior menses. I know me know me. I know me that way it come out. I don't see something come out from my woman's skin. I know me. I go talk for my mommy. I go talk for my mommy now today. After when they explain for me now, so say now saying I don't mature, saying I been a mature gay, say and then that time they find if pieces came now, so I put for my skin say I don't mature that time. So I've been a mature girl. Fear became from my heart. Saying that something don't happen from my skin. So I don't go through my skin for some place. So I don't know. So I don't explain that. So my mommy talking no. Nah, explain that it's for woman. For woman them. As I way they go up.
For the first time I saw my menses, I was in the house alone, and we are 5 of us, 3 girls and 1 boy, and I'm the first. So I hid it from everybody in the house. So when I go to school, my friends will see my menses that are soaked my dress. They always complain and say, what is wrong that every time your dress is soaked? So hiding for a number of times, there was no way for me to hide again, because at times I always soak my dress. So when I went and complained to a neighbor, not to my mother, because my mother was not in the house at that time. So I went and complained to a neighbor that told me that is menstruation. That's how we be coming every month, and I need to use a toilet roll. She told me it's good to use toilet roll to hold it so that it should not be soiling my dress. So I thank Hope Center for this education to also help persons with disability to come out from this stigma, so that together we can know how to manage our menstruation, so that we can continue to grow.
My first experience on my menses was not very bad, because I was already living among elder sisters and that was already experiencing the menses. But as a person, as a young girl at that time, I was afraid, because I did not understand why I had to have blood through my vagina. So it was a bit difficult as the time went on, because I was not living with biological family, with my biological mother, and to act as a child with disability, it was shocked that I was also having a period, and it was difficult for me to access pad. But presently, I'm already grown up, and I teach other people on how to manage their menstruation very well. Based on my experience, I try to do my best to ensure that they don't have the same experience like me during their first period.
I started menstruating at the age of 16. My first menstruation started when I was at home alone, but I was not surprised because I had elder sisters in the house. We were already that they were already menstruating, so it was not a surprise to me, even though I was scared, because I really never knew that what was happening to them is going to happen to me one day. So I knew that they used to see blood every end of the month. Then when they came back, I told them. So we then used to use the pieces of cloth like towels that we wash and dry, and the challenge was the means of always getting sanitary pad for some time, and for more than even 5 years. That was what we do before. After some time, we could afford sanitary pad once in a while. I always stayed like that, and it soaked the entire chair that I was sitting on until they came back, and then they gave me water and I bathed and changed.
Each of the participants went home with a sanitary kit to enable them manage their menstrual cycle with dignity.
In the kit, we have bathing soap which they can use. We have the sanitary pad in itself. We have detergent powder which they can use in washing either their pads or their pants. We have underwears as well.
The Hope Center Cameroon is an organization which seeks to rehabilitate girls and women who have suffered or are suffering from domestic violence, to bring out the worth in them and empower them to be strong women who actively contribute to their personal development and the development of their communities and society.